Hey everyone, welcome back. So Pepatián, Bronx Arts Collaborative, in collaboration with Hostel Center for Arts and Culture, has created a video series entitled Sharing the Same Cielo. The project includes the works of Latinx dance, film, and spoken word artists from the Bronx, while also offering the artists a way to focus on working together even through physical distancing. Joining us to tell us more, please welcome visual artist Leenda Bonilla and dance artist Alicia Díaz and Rokafella. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
How are you?
Peace.
Thank you for having us.
Oh my goodness. So this is super exciting. The whole project sounds like really, really, really fascinating. And I love the concept of just really figuring out how to work collaboratively, even though we're set apart. And so, but I want to just introduce the audience a little bit more of the background, right? Because I understand you, Alicia, are one of the lead directors of the Dancing La Botánica, La Tierra Vive, which is a section that lives inside of the Sharing the Same Cielo. So can you give us insight into the dance department, and then I'll speak to Leenda about the visual department, and of course, Rokafella, your contributions as a dancer and a choreographer. Pero Alicia, the floor is yours.
Yay, thank you. And again, thank you so much for having us here. We're so happy. So I'll give maybe like a little background of Dancing La Botánica, which, as you said, is an initiative of Pepatián that is led by Jane Gabriels, and it's an organization that has been in the Bronx since 1983. It was founded originally by Marian Soto, whom we'll talk about a little bit later as well. So Dancing La Botánica, La Tierra Vive is an initiative that we started in Pepatián in 2019. And as you said so beautifully in the introduction, was conceived as a space to create a support and a platform for artists, dance artists, visual artists, and others. At the beginning, there was a musician as well, to be together, especially, right? And this was before the pandemic, right? But to create a space where we could be with each other and in a very process-oriented platform. So this wasn't an initiative that put product over everything else. It really was a space for us to be able to get to know each other better and truly to form a collective. And in that space, there's been throughout these 2 years, we were able to meet. We met first at the Bronx art space, then at BAD, and Pregones and Hostel. So we've been able to be supported by these really important organizations from the Bronx. And in each one of those meetings, we spent a lot of time really talking to each other, learning about ourselves as artists, as activists, as educators,
right,
as people, as women,
and also coming from different disciplines, which now is a great segue into Leenda, because you mentioned all the organizations. I love the fact that you are definitely highlighting the institutions in the Bronx and Puerto Rico, and then there's Leenda, who is a multidisciplinary artist. However, in this particular showcase, you're doing visuals through photography, right?
Yes. And also art direction. So as Alicia mentioned, like this was a very super organic process. And I think the beauty of this whole collective was recognizing the creativity that we've done informally with just having informal discussions, and how it led from having it in those formal spaces till we hit the pandemic, then we hit virtual. And there's another visual artist that's involved, Melanie Gonzalez, who we had an unofficial dialogue starting these visual diaries, just trying to illustrate like what's happening with us, or something to just keep exercising this collective. And so we started a series of visuals that was a call and response. And once we felt comfortable, and that's the main ingredient of this whole collective is trust, because usually I don't as a traditional artist or in the visual world, you don't really share until the very last minute. But because it was so organic and integrating interdisciplinary, it was wonderful to share with artists like Raka and Alicia and Beatriz and Melody, I mean Beverly as well, to just see how the visuals can influence them. And during the pandemic, we had these conversations that really illustrated spirituality, activism, solidarity, the feminine divine, and understanding how it all influenced us from our different disciplines into this, and into like a product now that your people are going to witness at Hostos next week.
Yeah, the witness, they're going to experience it. You mean they're going to experience it. And so I know that we're going to be giving a sneak peek based on a presentation that involves you, Rokafella, and you know, we primarily know you as a beat girl, but I think it's important for people to know that you also exercise different genres within the art of dance. And before you speak, unmute yourself. There you go.
Yes, and you know, being a part of Pepatián has allowed me, or you know, we always need to allow, right? We need permission to expand and stretch, and Pepatián was one of those organizations that said, come on, Raka, what else you got? And of course, I will never let go of the breaking and the hip hop and the history, but there are other styles out there. And since the pandemic, we've been in these like squares, in these frames. I thought that it would be great for me and one of my dancers, Jennifer Beastie Acosta, to do like some of the tutting or also some of the voguing, because it's all kind of related. And it helps me also think like, how am I in a box? How am I in a frame? How am I coming through? So we did a little bit of dance, and then it was great to merge, to fuse with Megan, who does contemporary, Beverly, and just be like together at the Bronx Clock Tower. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment outdoors, and thinking, how do they get down someplace else since we're sharing the same sky? So thank you. It was a beautiful, beautiful opportunity. I can't wait for y'all to see it.
And you know, I like that you translated it, because you know, I'm over here just making the assumption that people understand sharing the same cielo, and cielo means sky. And also I did want to make a note of Leenda's photography, because it's very nature driven, even though you have the aesthetics of technology, or let's say the metropolitanness of New York, right? So there's that balance of like,
Absolutely. It's
exactly.
It's complementing the biculturalism that is in our diaspora, reflecting that. And I also would like to mention La Bruja, Caridad, who was also influential. Her poetry is, and her Pepatianness was also felt, as well as Roslyn, who was another wonderful poeta. And it's just an amazing fusion and wonderful representation of the diaspora in the Bronx and crossing waters and the skies.
Okay, so I just wanted to, you know, I went into my vision, right? And I'm going, okay, wait a minute. So Caridad de la Luz, La Bruja, she's going to be reciting poetry with the imagery and the dancing. Like, is that what this fusion is?
Yes, she has.
That's amazing.
Yes, it is just, yeah. We're very excited. It's three videos that will be broadcasted throughout the month of June, starting June 4th, June 11th, and June 18th. And it's a different element every time, but it's always nature-based. It's the concrete with the nature, with us, and the influences that make us who we are as a beautiful botanica. And I also want to give a shout out to Pepon Osorio, who is the visual part of Pepatián, who's very influential in some of my work.
So I'm looking at a paper here that it just mentions that everyone who is part of this collaboration has had some involvement with Pepatián, like 30 years of works and arts in the culture in the Bronx. And some of the dance artists include Marian Soto, Noemi Segarra Ramirez, of course you, Rokafella, Alicia, Caridad de la Luz, which we mentioned, Leenda, you, Beatriz Capote, Megan Curette, Melanie Gonzalez, and Beverly Lopez. I just wanted to make sure that everybody gets acknowledged because not everyone is here in the Bronx either, because Caridad de la Luz is in Puerto Rico. And I also understand that she's editing as well as Melanie's editing. So this is like a nice mosh posh of just exercising and expanding on artistry. It sounds so delicious.
One of the really beautiful things that we're able to do in this project is the idea that the sky, that the cielo was really expansive, right? And so in the first video, we were thinking of, but always coming back to the Bronx, right? So the Bronx is always the center. And the first video then features the Bronx artist. And then myself, I am in Richmond, Virginia, actually, and Beatrice is in Indiana. And Beatrice is co-facilitator as well with me. So in that one, we have this conversation, and we thought of it as offerings, like what can we offer from afar as healing and towards all of us and the Bronx in particular. So we were thinking a lot actually about Ochun and the rivers and connecting the river in Richmond and Indiana with the Bronx River back to the Bronx. So the first one plays a lot with that. The second one, we have the opportunity to connect with the artists in Puerto Rico. And so in the second one is where Merian Soto and Noemi Segarra then offer other offerings to the Bronx, right, through their work, and is edited again through Caridad. And the third one is really a combination of all of us together. And so that is a big sharing of the cielo. And that's the one that Melanie will be editing. And so it's really, we're all three evenings are connected, but they're all also different, right?
Beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm looking forward to it. And I hope you guys are looking forward to it. Thank you, ladies, for sharing your thoughts and your talents. Yes, the BX is in the house, putting up the hearts for you, Rokafella.
Thank
And
you.
wow, this sounds like an experience that is not to be missed. It sounds like virtual dancing, and it's called Sharing the Same Cielo. The video series will be presented tonight at Hosto Center for the Arts and Culture at 7:30 p.m. And for more information on the other upcoming performances, please visit Pepatián.org. All right, don't go anywhere, because when we return, we're going to give you a sneak peek of Pepatián's Sharing the Same Cielo.